Do you want to be able to infinitely VATS and stack crits like crazy? Do you want to be able to beat any boss in the game? Well, in this video, Millie76 is going to show you how to not only get infinite VATS, infinite crits, but also do the very last thing, which is kill anything in the game. This build is so overpowered, I use it as my daily driver. It's so fun and it's super simple. The best part is this works with any VATS build as well. Let's dig in, starting with armor. This is a power armor build. You are going to want power armor for this. If you notice, I have a jetpack helmet. That helps, but it's not a necessity, and I'm personally using Strangler Heart just because I have a jetpack helmet on it. The actual armor rolls, it's Overeaters, Endurance, Through Hikers, and Rejuvenators. I highly recommend this build. The only other things you got to worry about is getting Cali Shocks, and if you have a jetpack helmet, you're able to actually change what the torso is. I personally use a Medic's Pump, as you can see, because that gives me an auto stim, kind of like an auto stim perk. That really helps with this build. It is not a necessity. If you do not have a jetpack helmet or arm, you can just put a jetpack on your torso and be completely fine. I'll tell you more about that once we get into the actual legendary perks and the nitty-gritty of the build, but as you can see, my armor is very simple. Strangleheart's not even the best armor for defense rating. This is what I have. The weapons we're going to use on this build is going to be my Cursed Elder's Mark using 9 AP. This is one I'm going to show you on Snake. This one's super good. It's pretty cheap. And then the second one is going to be my Gauss minigun, costing 11 AP. We're focusing more on the VATS here, but do pay attention to the other parts of the build because you might like it. These are the base special stats that I use. You can change these according to which legendary special stats you do, but that's just what I'm using. As far as legendary stats go, I do intelligence, perception, strength, endurance, and agility. But the very important legendary perk for this build is blood sacrifice. That can be used at any level. However, blood sacrifice is best at max level. At minimum level, it will cost you an additional 150%, where at max level it's only 50%. So take that as you will. You're going to be using a lot more stim packs and not able to VATS as long if you do not have this maxed out. The gimmick of this perk is it allows you to use HP instead of AP and VATS, which means you're not having to farm canned coffee or anything like that to continue VATSing, and running doesn't impact how much you can VATS. Stim packs are much easier to get than canned coffee, in my opinion, and there's also alternatives such as healing salve that you can use to replenish your health. I'll show you the entire build that I use with this, but I'm only going to focus on the important perk cards. You can see what else I got. This isn't a damage build, this is a health build. The first perk is Life Giver. This is very important. It gives you more HP based on your endurance. Very simple. It's very important for this build. Just trust me on that one. The next important one is Ironclad. This just helps to protect you more. If you're wearing a matching set, it doubles your resistance. That's pretty important for not dying with this build. The next most important one in any build is Starch Jeans. You should know that by now. This is in literally every single build. Rejuvenated is the most important perk in this entire set. Not only does it give you bonus HP, it regenerates HP, and then the water perk gives you an additional 4 endurance. Next is Party Boy. We use vodka and mountain honey in this build. You want that. You want that additional benefit. Strange Numbers is also in every build. You know that by now. First Aid is very important. It gives you more HP based on your intelligence. That's going to help your stim packs heal you better, and you're going to save them because you're not going to have to pop as many. The next most important perk in this entire build is Born Survivor. This is specifically at level 1 for a reason, because I want it at 20%, but this is going to pop a stim when you get low to keep you from dying and to keep you in VATS. The next one is Class Freak. This is in every single build. You know this by now. Next, I'm going to talk about mutations, and I'm going to focus on the ones that actually matter. The first one that actually matters is Egghead, because that gives you an additional 8 intelligence towards your stim packs. It does reduce a little bit of endurance, but that's fine. The next one that's really important is Herd Mentality for +3 to all special. And then the last one is going to be herbivore. Herbivore is just important for this build specifically for like the blight soup and the potato salad, which we'll get into a little bit later. First, I'm going to show you why the hunger and thirst is so important with this build. If you notice, my thirst is almost all the way depleted, and my hunger is actually about half here, which isn't terrible, but you want to focus on maxing that out, not only for the rejuvenators, but for the overeaters, because it's going to really boost your health. If you notice here, I'm able to VATS, and I can start firing. It's going to kick me out of VATS pretty quickly here, even though my Born Survivor triggered. I'm only using normal stim packs. With super stims, it probably could have kept me in, but I'm using normal stim packs because that's what most people have access to. Now I'm back, but my hunger and thirst is filled. This makes a huge difference. If you notice, we get an additional 60 HP, 30 HP per second, and that's just the hunger. The thirst actually does a lot too for us. The thirst gives us an additional 4 endurance and some AP per second, but that's not very important for this build. So if you notice here, we're able to lock on to the 6 Guardian and just start shooting. I'm not popping stims. Right about here is where my chest plate pops one for me. And then now my Born Survivor is going to kick in. I'm able to relock on instantly. I don't have to pop any stims, and I can just keep going. Now that I have the stim pack effect, I can pretty much, actually no, I can shoot an entire Gauss minigun magazine with only having to re-engage once. And if I pre-pop the stim, like I shot a little bit, hopped out of VATS and popped the stim, or let him shoot me real quick, I wouldn't have ever come out of the VATS. As you can tell, this is already pretty damn good. We are only using a full food bonus and, full water bonus. So what's gonna happen when we finally decide to actually pop some stuff? The said stuff is going to be potato salad and vodka/mountain honey. So we're over here in Flatwoods. I'm just going to milk a couple Brahmin real quick because you need Brahmin milk for the potato salad recipe. To get the potato salad recipe, you have to compete in Meat Week. To get the vodka recipe, you can do Biv's Daily Quest if you want to craft vodka, or you can find it out in the world, and same thing with mountain honey. They're both interacted with Party Boy or Party Girl. They're pretty much interchangeable. They do exactly the same thing, the main stat-wise. So now we're going to craft this potato salad. If you notice, it owns only 1 Brahmin milk, 1 sugar, 1 potato, and 1 wood. And it gives you an additional 75 maximum HP. And that is going to be for a full 30 minutes. So that's going to last long enough for you to hit Eno 6 a couple times or to glitch to the end of Snake a couple times. I will show you how to do that later in this video as well. So we're back at Eno 6, and now we're just going to pop a Lucky Tea just for the water more than anything. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pop a Mountain Honey and the Potato Salad. With both of those, you'll see our health is going to go insane. Now the next thing for us to pop is going to be a Psycho Buff. Once we pop a Psycho Buff, that gives us some additional health. And look, we are over 1,000 health. You couldn't die like this if you wanted to, man. And as you'll see, we're just going to go ahead and lock onto this guy. We're going to pop a stim pack, and we're just going to use these normal stim packs. It always uses your cheaper stim packs first. And check this out. So we're just going to lock onto him, pop a couple stims, and we just can absolutely annihilate him. Well, we would if his shield was down. This is more of a demonstration of the Infinite VATS than anything. The major downside to this build is, if you'll notice, my fusion core is just drained. But if you keep up on it, you won't die like I did here. If you'd like to see how to skip straight to the snake, I'm going to be posting a video on that soon, so stay tuned. Once it's posted, I will link it down in the comments below. And now we're at the snakes, so I'm going to just speed this up and show you guys just how strong this actually is in effect. So we're just going to pop a Psycho Buff and a Blight Soup, and we're going to kill this snake for you. Again, I'm more set up for the Infinite VATS right now than anything else. You can get these builds a lot stronger than what I have here. At one point, I had this thing doing over 3K for a crit, but that's mostly using like Pablo Pens and magazines. Personally, I think if you're able to solo the Ultrasonic Terror by yourself, you're doing alright. One other thing is this is also using a Gauss minigun without the pentabarrel. If this had a pentabarrel on it, it would be doing longbows. So as you can see, we stayed full health for basically the entire fight, only using stim packs every now and then our auto stim kicks in at 50% HP and 20% HP. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. I genuinely appreciate that. And my game crashed. Have a great day, y'all.